All right, what's up, y'all? Welcome to FOMC. We're going to see what we can get done here. Just looking at a couple of things. 5:15, interesting strike, which is today. 5:12, and then right there. We're going to make these yellow, or let's do orange. Just looking at a few things here, getting prepared for any kind of movement in the session. It's been a pretty interesting range, man. This is one of those days where, like I said earlier, if you can just set some limits at the boundaries, and of course properly positioned, as always, and just wait. It's worked out pretty well. We know today is not going to trend, so in terms of playing a range, today is about as sure as you can get on buying the lows and selling the highs. Look how that sweep liquidity. So if you did want to put on some small, tight range trades, today's your day. That's well defined. They just came down to 1250 and put on a small bounce right here. Yeah, right off of this lower level. We bounced just on today, literally today's lows to the penny on NASDAQ. And the morning low, of course. Oh my gosh, I never do that. I don't think I've ever had such a stress-free trading day. It's definitely been the most stress-free day in a while, that's for sure. It's been nice. Are you showing your book map? I am, yeah. Let's go ahead and do that now. I don't necessarily plan on listening to the FOMC. I'm going to bring up the link, but most of the time I just kind of drown it out because it's just yapping, which we know is worthless. Where are we headed today? I think initial reaction is going to be green followed by red, but again, I'm not married to that. If I see big red out of the gate, then we'll play that accordingly. That's just for S's and G's. We do that. Let's see. See if I can find the stupid link. Federal Press Conference, March 20th, 2024. Here it is on YouTube, if y'all want it. And here is this. Do SR levels matter much during this? Oh, man. Significant levels, yes. In any kind of big moves, the smaller levels are not going to hold up. But that's if we have a big move. Can you imagine if they do anything other than pause? Never yet, never in the history of the modern FOMC, the past 3 years, have they done anything other than what's expected. Every time it's been priced in to hike, they've hiked. Pause, paused, cut, although we haven't cut yet. So today they're pricing at a pause. If it's anything other than that, most likely you'll get some bear pause. You can uncrumple this piece of paper. No surprises. Unsub. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. 32, 52.30, 52.50 up top. If you zoom out, there's not too much up top, but there's a whole bunch down bottom. 51.70. Most likely what's going to happen is that once the 2 o'clock time frame hits Eastern time, we'll start to drift in one direction, most likely down. And then they'll start to make the real move after J. Powell talks. Actually, I don't know why I said most likely down. I have no idea why, nowhere. But they're going to start drifting one way or the other at 2 o'clock, most likely. And then once about 2:30, 2:45, they'll move it back the other way. That's typically how these things happen. Biden said the Fed will cut. We shall see. Oof. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Tell us why you think the equities will go down when rates are cut. Well, I mean, that's probably 6 to 8 months out, in my opinion. But when the rates start to cut, that means the economy has reached a point where they need to start transitioning into bonds. Well, not that's I kind of blended some things. The economy has reached a point where it's dire enough where they finally need to cut, where the rate hikes, and the whole point of rate hikes is to poke holes in the water balloon, that enough water has drained out of the water balloon that we can start patching that and start cutting rates. So, yes, the economy and markets are not directly coupled, but eventually one catches up to the other long term. So the whole theme here is that the economy's reached a point. The banks, which is the whole bread and butter of all of this, it has nothing to do with NVIDIA. It has everything to do with the banks. I mean, I think J.P. Morgan and Epstein can kind of show you that one. That they start to feel pressure and they rotate into bonds with the coming off rates. They want to get that highest rate, and there's the great rotation, and take profit off of the highly inflated stocks and go into bonds, which have been beaten down. The aggressively beat down Treasury market. The Treasury market has been in an incredible bear market for years, and it has not come out of it like the stock market has. The stock market, it was in a bear market, and they bounced and hard rallied. The stocks never did that. Or, I'm sorry, the Treasuries never did that. So they are at a value. Don't rate cuts stimulate the economy? Yeah, but you have to realize, again, why the rate cuts are happening. And what needs to happen is rotate out of stocks into bonds. That money got to come from somewhere. 16-inch 50 caliber Mark 7. That's beautiful. I would love to be a fly on the wall in one of those big professional trading firms during one of these events. Oh yeah. They're probably just kicking back, eating their popcorn, saying, "Watch all these retail jabronis get smoked." But, that's just my thesis, and I very well could be incredibly wrong about that. I'm just some little retail jabroni. So, but that's my thesis, and I'm trying to learn about it, because obviously this is the first time anyone has ever experienced this in the past 15 years. So I'm trying to learn from this, watch how the market reacts, take notes, and understand, all right, well, if this move happened from October till now, what caused it? What caused the bearishness of 2022? That kind of stuff. So, and then once all this blows over in 2-3 years and we're back to a normal bull market, quote unquote normal being the key word there, we'll be able to look back and say, like, all right, well, what actually happened, and what can we look forward to in another 10, 15 years if we're still a country? Has anyone put on anything beforehand? I'm not, currently. Interesting thoughts. You're saying that the labor market is strong enough and has caught up to this 4% PPI, now the lower rates. I think, well, you remember, what's the purpose of the rate hikes? The rate hikes is to slow down the freight train that is the economy. That's the whole purpose of the hikes. Because we are running hot. Inflation was running hot. Job market, everything. Money, 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 money. And the purpose of the rate cuts will to stop the bleeding. The rate hikes are supposed to slow everything down, put in the brakes. And once they see the brakes are on hard enough and the economy slowed down hard enough and the job market got pummeled enough, then they can start cutting again to start to go back into a supportive market. And once they start going back into a supportive monetary policy, that's where the market will dip, will flow into Treasury, and only then will they start to flow back in. We'll have a big 19%, 20% bounce on the equities, and then boom, back to the traditional bull market. We'll never again have a discussion about big downside until about 15 to 20 years later again. Once that occurs, puts and swing downside positions on the indexes will never be a conversation in this community once that occurs. Not at least not for me. Now, individual names, maybe, but not indices. So you're saying buy the dip. I mean, always, yeah. Long term, always buy the dip, sure. Makes you go to the bathroom for taking off, yeah. Selling puts, there you go. If we decide destruction, yeah. Have you ever considered streaming on Rumble? I haven't. I don't know what that is. All right, 1 minute till they post the data. Option chain right now is at 61%. So juiced. In fact, I don't remember last FOMC being this high. So be ready. Let's look on Bookmap. They're about to take off liquidity. There it goes. 5,200 left. And may the odds be ever in your favor. $900 iceberg just filled. 11,000 negative. Down to 5,200 at 51.75 lower. NASDAQ has not much else. But we're about to see what's going to happen. We're finna see what's about to happen. As my son and his friends say. I have my pizza. Let's get started. All right, here we go. Big green, big green, big green, big green, big green, big green. Going. Big top wick, big top wick, big top wick, big top wick. And we're going to see what's going to go on. Going green, going green, going green. 48, 42, 50. $18,311. No change, 5.5. There you go. There you go. No change. So the market's going to bake this baby in. Now that the data is what the market has priced in, now they're going to start stripping liquidity. They're going to start rolling hedges, and they're going to see a lot of the moves. Big greens, top wicks, big reds, that type of thing. 52.46. Russell's big green with a top wick. TLT big green with a top wick. VIX has come down with the bottom wick. Yeah, let it shake out. Let it shake out. Remember, IV does not really start coming off until about 3:15 or so Eastern time. Large green candles. Still going. Still riding this baby up from 269 up to 359. So that's a 90-point move so far on NASDAQ. And it's still going. There'll be plenty of time. Plenty of time. 517 and going through the morning range, obviously. SPY is only up 2 points, so we're not talking about a major move here. We hitting all-time highs? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Coming off right here. I'm briefly scalping long from 352. 18,352. That's my first trade of the FOMC. And I'm going to set a stop just above it. I'm not taking any risks. ES all-time highs? I think it just did, yeah. I think it just did. Be very careful playing this price action, y'all. I think they made like the same last FOMC or FOMC after sweep morning low and then going for FOMC. Yeah. So ES right now. Come on now. Shift me. Man, trading view is slow. Yeah, so ES did just put a new all-time high in. Right there. $57. Come on now. God, this thing is slow. $341. Lowered interest rates projection. Lowered all interest rate projections. Yeah. Rumble is a conservative version of YouTube. Interesting. I'll have to take a look. All right, so there's that first top wick. 52.75 liquidity is still on, and make sure they're not putting anything higher. I know we don't talk numbers, but I just got them in queue for $21. Hey man, that's awesome. You can get yourself a combo from Taco Bell. CBOS's 30-year debt and deficit forecasts are lower due to discretionary spending limits passed by Congress, stronger projected GDP growth due to increased immigration. Interesting. I guess you could call it immigration. Fed official median view of the Fed funds rate longer run 2.6%. 75 basis points cuts in 2024 from current levels. So that's a projecting basically three cuts, of 25 each. Which is what Bank of America had projected, 3 cuts of 25 each, 25 basis. Does not expect to cut any interest rates until his greater confidence inflation is moving towards 2%. So literally the same crumpled up piece of paper speech he's been saying for 2 years is that their goal is 2%. Another iceberg. Come on, 7,400. NASDAQ is still going. Let's see here. Still going. 367. NASDAQ is up 100 points on one candle, which is nothing crazy. I mean, that's a big move, sure, but that's not like mind-blowingly large. That's what she said. From 375, and we're coming into 450, which is the main liquidity up top. Still going. Plenty of time, plenty of time, plenty of time. We're going to see how this thing goes. They will never hit their target. Nope. Man, look at Russell. Russell's blasting too, 2087. Dow's going 39,724. VIX is coming off 1355. Full port and 401k. Nice. Watching at school lunch. Does anybody else in your school know what's going on, Robert? Do they do this stuff too, or they just watch TikTok? Man, 400. There you go. Now we're starting to cook. Right after they stop out my long. Now they blast it off. No position for me after that first position. But there's plenty of time. Plenty of time. And we're going to see what happens here. I'll trade you my pudding for a cookie. 49394 still going. 450 is going to be the liquidity up top. I don't know what that is. Watch NVIDIA too. So again, the data comes out as expected. And this is the release of the hedges. This is what happens. Remember, the institutions don't care about the data. It's all about hedging for volatility. Now the unknown becomes known. Hedges roll off. Big green, VIX rolls off. And then the final form comes after all this stuff settles. And if the final form is up, we go up. That's why I'm saying their final move doesn't come until roughly about 20 to 40 minutes after he starts talking, somewhere in that range. Yeah. So, you know, dealers aren't sitting there speculating like we are. I'm sure. I mean, for the most part, collectively. So, yeah, sellers will attempt to sell it. Here we go. Here's a red candle. So remember, the dealers are positioned for protection. They put on positions for protection. They're not sitting here, hey, bro, let's take our 900 bill portfolio and let's put it in 0 DTE calls, bro. Come on, bro. What they're doing instead is hedging the volatility. And now that the unknown becomes known, down we go. And now the unknown becomes known, we have the big green as hedges roll off. VIX tumbles. I'll tumble for you. The VIX tumbles. Price action is in a tailwind because of their buying back hedges. Once that process is done, then the real move, quote unquote, the positioning for the next sequence happens. That's why we get the final move. And now, we get this big red drawdown, which I just entered my second trade of the process. On down. So now we'll know exactly what the final process is. And that could be down, that could be up, but other than that, we'll know. YOLO, crack a beer. Oh my gosh. I went down 10 points on NASDAQ, 2 separate trades, took one last stab and got 15 points of the rally. Up. Nice. You're welcome. You're welcome. I will tell you, MNQs are your best friend. MNQs are your best friend. Buying the first pullback rule. It's certainly there. It's certainly there. I would be less apt to apply that during a catalyst. But it's certainly an idea. If this candle breaks, we'll see how far they're going to do anything. But so far, the sellers did their defense. And there you go. Yacht Flyer, you are killing me. Killing me. Still going red. 18,340 on down. But I built a position with MNQs here. No dollar amounts. And I'm going to continue to see if I can ride that thing down. MNQs, those are micros. I'm not playing minis on this stuff here until I can get a good handle for what's going on here. So I'm just racking up a couple of points here on micros. But we'll see. Made my daily, pulls out the popcorn. There you go. Love me some popcorn. You know what we're doing this year? We're growing popcorn corn so we can dry it and make our own popcorn. Pretty excited about it. First time ever. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. It's called ladyfingers, ladyfinger corn. And you dry it in a bucket, and then when you're ready, you just shuck it off and then pop it. I would think this is a special circumstance, and any rule that works in a general normal day probably isn't applicable to an event like this. I mean, yeah, I think I would tread carefully on applying a blind rule, definitely, because this market, I mean, this price action is obviously a little nuttier than what we're dealing with, but yeah. I'm currently short in micros. This is my second trade so far. I took a long up, stopped out, and now I'm taking a short down, which is about to stop out on this one. But literally, I'm just having fun with some micros here. So until we reach that 2:30 time frame, 2:15, then I'll play a little bit bigger, but probably most likely one NASDAQ at the most. So I've got some rainbow popping corn I just ordered from Baker's Creek. That sounds good. Back up, 370. I don't even have this thing on yet. Let's see. Yeah, there's still music. What kind of music they got this time? Very calming music. Oh man. Here, I'm going to post this in the public chat channel. No options today? Not yet, at least. I might put one on later, but right now, nothing. Huh. That's weird. Yeah, I remember seeing that. I don't know where it is. Hold on a second. Trader J. Yeah, I don't know where that is, man. Like, I remember seeing that explicitly. Like, I remember reading that explicitly. I know this is not one of those Mandela effects, but I don't know where it is, if you can hear me, Trader J. Up and down, up and down. If you want to share some good performance, you can just show your percentage and not dollar amount. So yeah, we can probably, yeah, absolutely we can, yeah. That's what I want. I want y'all to show your entries and whys and whens. I want y'all to share that stuff. That's beautiful. Beautiful. What are the odds this move is totally reversed? I would probably say pretty good. We have a couple of 15-minute top wicks, 5-minute top wicks so far. Not to mention that's typically what they do on FOMC. I still wouldn't put any kind of position size other than micros on it. Is the move bearish or bullish? It's neither. It's known. The unknown becomes known. Bugs like the corn. Yeah. When you say the real move is start around 3 o'clock, does that mean we can expect a slow grind up or down? Well, what normally happens, and what my thesis is that we have a green response to the data because the unknown becomes known, and they're positioned on it. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy of the rate of a rate pause. We get a bullish reaction to it because as the hedges roll off, they buy back to close. VIX drops. The VIX didn't even drop all that much, and down we go. After that move is made and out of the way, the hedge roll off is done. Now we have the quote unquote real move. And here's my thought process. What's happening on the macro charts? The macro charts were in distribution. Aggressive top wicks every time we have a green. Every time for the past month and a half, 2 months. So I don't think we're going to deviate from that. I think we'll put in a big green, which is my thesis, sweep it, and then we're going to drop. The drop could happen today. The drop could happen tomorrow, but I'm still going to stick with the macro price action in my thesis. Because remember, data doesn't drive thesis. Data drives volatility. And the hedge funds are hedged against volatility until they're not. So that's why you get the big sweep in green, because hedges roll off to buy back up, and then they roll it back down to get liquidity. That's typically why on the FOMC days we have the big green and then the sell-off. There you go. Yeah, it doesn't show up in the search, though. It's weird. I knew I saw that. So SPX and VIX both can go down in the real move? I mean, theoretically, yeah. They don't have to go inverse each other, especially with the new 0 DTE market. But if the move gets selly enough, then yes, they'll reposition back in. 15% gain on a 5 DT and another 50% down, still staying away from zeros for the most part. Beautiful. What made you take the short? Just me looking to fade the initial move, just kind of sticking to my thesis. Just literally a couple of micro contracts. Nothing big at all. I'll let y'all know when I turn things up a little bit, if I do. I've had a pretty decent day, all things considered. But right now I'm just watching to see if we can get that big move. TLT is getting smoked again, of course, because we're not ready to cut yet. And that fits into my thesis as well. As long as they continue to push the old cut can down the road, the bonds are going to still face pressure. 92, 91, 89. But once we're ironclad on, heck, here comes the cuts, you're going to see TLT go through the freaking roof. And that's when I'll be buying long-dated calls in the old tittle T. TLT, I don't know why I tried to say that in a word that's stupid, but TLT. $18,400. Here comes the red. More icebergs coming on. 9,100 negative CVD dropped over from 5,500. So we've dropped about 4,000 CVD with a liquidity of 47. And they have a whole bunch of icebergs on, baby. So bring it on down. Bring it on down. I'm going to set my stop. And we're going to go. Lots of volume smack the leaps today. You always fun watching 7,000 for a minute. Jeez Louise. Make that money. You just got to have the guts to play the patterns, man. This is what happens. Big green, red. Big green, red. Big red, then green. Big red, then green. Small position size in case they smoke you. Dots reveal hawkish bias. That is not good. For the rate cut theory, at least. TLT is still getting smacked down. Like WWE SmackDown. Oh, yeah. Just waiting. Still riding this thing. Do I come from Alabama? Nah. Nah, bruh. I don't have a sister. Make that money, that's right. 52.45 is still that main thing. I'm going to look to see, because right now ES is kind of gripping to the 52.45, and I'm going to see if we can get that big red and then sweep lower. 15 minute. I was just whistling that, yeah. But so far in the 15 minute, we have a large top wick. It's not putting in any kind of flow here, so we're kind of coming on down into a possible area. If they were to buy this up, I definitely wouldn't hold my micro short into that. TLT still getting smoked. VIX is not coming off. But let's see if we can get through at 300. That'll be my first target here to gain any kind of confidence. Other than that, I'll just stop out, and I'll just wait until, I don't know, top of the hour or so. We have a long time. One sec, I have to send something to Mrs. OM. And okay, back. Am I still doing the chess thing? Yeah, I usually play one game of chess a day. I don't have a lot of time to become proficient at it, but I usually play one game a day. Just kind of warms my brain up. 18337. Flowers. What's up? What about flowers? Are we planting flowers? Yes, we are. I'm planting lavender, a bunch of orange type flowers, I forget the name of it, and a bunch of different sunflowers for the bees, so the bees can pollinate. Also have peach trees and apple trees. Does anyone have weird fill issues with trade ovate? Well, it depends on the like when you're taking that trade. If you're taking that trade right in the midst of that volatility, you're probably going to get some weird stuff. Right now, though, you shouldn't have too big of a problem, though. Then again, I haven't taken a trade on that at the moment. It's better now? Yeah. Coming back up green. Trade of it goes to crap every single FOMC. Oh yeah, all that stuff does, dude. All right, 52.53. Still waiting. Don't let it lull you to sleep, though. Like, when he starts talking, things start shaking. And then about 15, 20, 30 minutes in, we start to pick the final move. So don't let it lull you to sleep here. All right. 2 officials saw no cuts. 2 officials saw 1 cut. 5 officials saw 2 cuts. 9 officials saw 3 cuts. 1 official saw 4 cuts. And I hope it is 4 cuts. Daddy's got to get back to real estate. He will, John Taylor. He will. Instructions unclear. Fell asleep. Input. Russell's coming back down. The bonds are getting smoked. Other than that, we're all just still waiting right here. Options pricing came off a little bit, just a touch, but it typically builds back up a little bit and then comes off finally after he starts talking. Have you ever... Oh, no. Let's drop something. Dang it. Have you ever had a place destroyed by a tenant? Yes, I did. Yes, it was insured. It was 2 springs ago. 2 springs ago. What was the decision? It was a rate pause with the anticipation to continue 3 hikes this year. Why did they destroy it? Why does any tenant like that destroy it? Because they're not the best type of people, and they have no respect for other people's belongings. I bet it was Lee Rat. It was Lee Rat. That's why Lee Rat had to leave the server, because he destroyed my house. How'd you guess that? I'm just kidding. I love Lee Rat. Lee Rat's a daddy now. We have a baby Lee Rat out there. Three cuts. I'm sorry. Yeah, 3 cuts, not hikes. I'm used to saying hikes now. Let's take a look at the options data. What do we got? Did he ever become an LEO? I don't believe so. But he's got a lot of good things going right now. Proud of him. They're building more exposure lower. 505? Jeez Louise. Yeah, what's tomorrow? The 21st. 510 again. All that exposure lower. 522. 515. Right there. Ready for the dump. How is renting properties profitable these days when you can get 5% a year for free? Well, purchasing properties nowadays is not the most profitable, but I had properties before all this stuff went crazy. But you have to remember, real estate is a long-term game. Real estate is not give me my money now. Real estate is accumulate equity, and then in 20 years you've got 15, 20 homes that are paid for. And you've got a nest egg. You can either sell those for the equity and take the cash out and go to Bermuda, or you can continue to rent those out as free equity for the rest of your life. It's really depending on what you do, and that gives you that flexibility. Or you could do what rich people do, is take all that equity, and instead of income, you take loans out on that as income, and now you don't have to pay taxes on your income because loan is not income. You just have to cover the interest payments. Trade on the toilet. Jeez Louise. Hold up, they do what? All right, let's say you've got $2 million in equity in something. Let's call it stock market, $2 million in real estate, $2 million in whatever, an asset. Well, instead of driving income that's taxable, you just take loans against the collateral of that asset, and you use that as your income, as long as you can cover the interest payments. There's ways to do that with whole life policy insurance too, which is a little bit high level stuff. But my buddy's very selective with his tenants. He'll go months not renting out just to find except the right people. Yeah, it's smart. Smart move. Cash secured loans. There you go. Cash out refinances too. All right. So NASDAQ has come back to the top of the range, which is going to get me out of my micro short. And then I'm going to kind of chill until we have something happen here. He's about to start talking here in probably 30 seconds, at least scheduled to, unless he's on Biden time, which is going to be sometime tomorrow. And after that, we'll see where the move's going to be. If I win the Mega Millions, I'm just going to take out a $900 million loan. Oh my gosh. All right, I think he's coming out to talk. Yeah, here he comes. I built two duplexes a year out of pocket, then financed them on a 15-year loan, tax-free. Been doing it for 18 years, so the last 3 years of refi of the first 6 has been tax-free the second time. Nice, metalhead. Well done. Oh my gosh. Biding his time. What are they going to do? Red candle's coming off. Double wick, top wick on this, maybe? Maybe. Three, 5, 6, 3, 5, 7. CVD is neutral. They're going to bring the CVD neutral into this event. Crazy stuff. Here he comes, talking. Coming off. There we go. Here comes the red. Can this red hold? 332. Is he yapping yet? He is yapping. So far, the same crap. More red. If this can hold, we'll see what they can do with it as the final move. Micros, micros, micros. No minis. I'm short. Wish me luck. Good luck, Nomad. CVD is dead neutral. These are the option strikes. Still red, coming off. Let's go, baby. TLT getting smoked. Just listen a little bit. I'll listen to the first couple minutes and that'll be it. So we're still chopping up here, but the sellers have done their job to tamp down the bullishness. If this closes around this area, this will be a quite disappointing FOMC, but I think we'll move out of this range eventually. Here comes the red. Here comes a little more red. See if I can hold it. All right, so the first pivot on NASDAQ is going to be 315, but it's definitely coming off here. So keep riding it down, micros only. TLT's coming off. If we take out VWAP, that'll be the last line of defense, obviously. We have a VPA high volume with the top wick. So VPA confirms here. Last line of defense is going to be, if we could take out, we're back below the morning range high. We're still dropping. And down we go. 70 points down already. What about options? IV's still a little high. I don't want to get smoked on options. You don't think we'll see much of a move? It's looking like we're going to test the day's lows here. And so far, it's playing right into it. Right into it. Here it comes. It's closed below it. We're now taking out VWAP. Here it goes. It's the same thing every single FOMC. Every FOMC. TLT is getting destroyed. Dang, Gina. That's a new weekly low on TLT. Literally the same exact speech. Literally, verbatim, the same exact speech. Great job, Pastor. Well done. Oh, big green. Holy smokeronies. Uh-oh. Now their top going to come back down. Influence CVD. They just smoked it back down. Look at that. Hammered it back down again. Good gosh. Micros only, people. I'm telling you. Micros only. I might join Trader J there. As soon as a big move in 80 days pop up. Oh, yeah. I'm in a mega micro trade mode. They're beautiful. Beautiful. Come on, baby. Close it down. If this candle closes red, it's going to smoke it to 246. Do it. Do it now. I wish one time he'd say, I don't know what we are going to do. Yep. That would be political suicide for him. And possibly even actual Epstein suicide. Or Boeing, I should say now. Smoking a pancake. Back up. Let's see. Coming all the way back up. Volatility, baby. Oh, nice. Really? They want to get the Fed funds rate back down to 3.1%. Interesting. All the way back up, man. Look at that. Look at that freaking engulfing candle. Now that's a bottom wick right there. That's why you do micros. Good gosh. .1% by the end of 2025. That's surprising. Upgraded range day, baby. Yeah. They're top wick in SPY already. Nasdaq still holding. A lot of volatility. Do you think they're committed to their mandate to keep inflation under control? I mean that is their book. What's the word I'm looking for? That's their book statement. That's what they say that on paper what they're trying to do. I'm not good with words. I'm not a wordsmith, a languager. Book learning. There you go. He's done already? 10 minutes? There you go. All right, now we get to do some Q&A, baby. If y'all trade micros, you could free up a lot of brain bites. So trade some micros. Have a, if you want to have some fun, trade micros where you're, 100-point move, you're risking $200 on Nasdaq. If you're wrong by 100 points, which hopefully you're not, but you can stop out before then. But if you're wrong by 100 points, $200, not 2,000. There you go, Daft. Got my daily profit goal for the today and improved my profit factor. Love it, Pastor. God, look at this. Look at this. It's killing me. They're literally teasing me. They're teasing me. I thought I was going to get it. Yeah, really. Staying out of it's like watching your parents fight as a kid. Ooh, I'm triggered. If we was to go down, I like it. What is a good target for Nasdaq? First for me, it's going to be morning low. If it does start to go down, morning low of about 18,246. But I mean, there's a lot of hammer candles on this chart here, and it looks like this one may take us higher. A little Scott step here. Well, how we'll try to get to 3.1, do the market of the interest rates. Well, it's kind of what we talked about earlier. It's what leads to getting to that point. If they bring the cost of money down too far too fast, again, all they're going to do is restart the engine. Stage 2 of the rocket. Man, look at this bounce. This is the final move, it appears. Don't do me like that, bro. Live to trade another day. Can we please have 1 or 2 healthy Momo trades tomorrow? Yeah. Third time hitting this level? Yeah. Chair Powell. Good question. Another top wick. See? Watch, they're teasing me again. Watch this. Look at Trippy Mike calling it. I like it. Did he just tell a dude to check himself? Or did I hear that wrong? Was it like check yourself type of thing before you wreck yourself, or was it like you just need to check your facts? Still going. And that stops me out of my micro, but it's still going. Sweet sassy molassie. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Yeah, that's crazy. Does the Cabbage Patch. I love it. $518. Let's take a look here. 1845, 500 is coming on liquidity. 5275 liquidity. All bottom wick so far. Did they take off lower stuff? Let's take a look. They still have the 4245 on. They still have 5200, still have 5175. But they definitely have this cat on here at 5275. Let's take a look at the flow. Definitely so far pretty bullish. That recovery could be the final move. Like, that's the thing. Is like right around this point is where we start looking for it. But I don't know, man. They've had a lot of aggressive moves up and down twice. Now it does appear like it's kind of pulling away from us. No, I don't need that. Here. Still going 5275. They just cleared out that last liquidity, and CVD is still red but climbing aggressively to 4270. What levels would be the SPY equivalent? Approximately 519.5, currently where we are. And we're going. Dow took off. Russell took off. Russell's about to put into the high end. Apple went nuts. Nvidia is climbing. TLT bounced again. I feel like they're going to smoke a lot of people here. Possibly. I mean, they typically do. If there are a significant weakening labor market, that would be a reason to start rate cuts. So keep an eye on jobs data into the summer. Yeah. Wow. SPY. So SPY rejected R4, which was the top option strike there too, twice. And then finally absorbed it, and now we're squeezing. 519 and going to 72. Now we're starting to really take off. NASDAQ is slightly lagging the strength of the S&P, but it's doing their own damage too. Still going. Dang, it's gone. Yeah, because look at it again. Look at the banks, XLF, rocketing. Yeah, double bottom wicks on the 15-minute, definitely. That second buy up led it to this. Can't believe you said you said down. I put 0 MQs on this. Oh my gosh. There are some good questions, I'll tell you that. Right on 520. Give me so far holding. Absolutely, Dan. Absolutely. If this week stays around this level, how should SPY weekly be read? Let's go take a look at it now. Let's go take a look at it now. We just put in a weekly high on a hammer. Volume obviously would be the last thing, and we still have 2 days left for the weekly. So we'll see how the weekly forms. If they have yet another top wick tomorrow, then, more signs of selling. But if they hold it and blast it, man, I don't know at that point. Stopped out of my short, but enjoying the show. There you go. Another bottom wick here. So the buyers are still buying up everything. I'm trying to listen and do this and trade at the same time. Still waiting. What if Linda shows up? She will. Oh, man. Playing the junk is gambling. I have zero clue what it's like to happen next. That's why we're doing micros. Absolutely. Micros. This is a pretty decent move. It's definitely not the biggest FOMC we've seen. It's a nice bullish move after a lot of selling. We've certainly seen much, much bigger. But right now we're looking at approximately 25-point move up on ES, which is it's decent. It's decent. NASDAQ is up approximately 150 points, which is, again, decent for FOMC. I wish he would say something completely gangster. Like when he's ready to leave his career, just come out and say something completely gangster. And just like step off the stage. Trying to hedge your CCS right now? Zeros on Qs are over 50%. Yeah, it won't come off for another probably 10-15 minutes is when IV starts to drop. IV might drop. New high of the day right here, still coming up. Mic drop, yeah. Just need Apple at 180 today. It's trying to get there. Another top wick. 900 of it is impossible to rip past. Probably. The new me locked my 150K's top step combine before FOMC at 158.8. 199 to go after 8 positive days. Nice, Fin Trader. Beautiful. He's not even real. The reason why J Powell AI videos are so good because he's already in AI. Probably. Here comes the red. Market makers know where they want to go. Yeah, they do. Well, we came up in this area 10 minutes ago, and we're back and forth. No additional trades for me. I just diagonal spread a whole CCS leg by leg and collected some extra premium. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm learning things. Nice. Nice. How was the book map? Let's take a look. Right now we've got 5280 liquidity, which looks like we're going to try to grab. You're welcome, Mr. 50. But it's kind of boring at the moment. We do think financial conditions are weighing on the economy. Oh, man. All right. No dip. Yep. The woman should have taken a decongestant before asking the question. Jeez Louise. Unemployment tomorrow. Grabbed a small 44% return getting out just before the downturn. Nice. Tomorrow is Thursday. We have continuous jobless claims 8:30. Philadelphia Fed manufacturing 8:30. S&P manufacturing 9:45. Existing home sales 10 o'clock. Fed Vice Chair at 12 o'clock, 10-year tips at 1,300, and then a Fed balance sheet at 14:30. So a lot of good and 2-3-star events tomorrow, so it should have some volatility tomorrow too. But overall, it'll be interesting close to this session. We obviously broke out to new all-time highs on ES, not NASDAQ. We still have a couple hundred points to go on NASDAQ, but We definitely need to see how this weekly candle holds. .1% federal funds rate. So that would mean they're going to reduce the funds rate by about 2.5% overall, give or take. Right now, the funds rate is about, what, 5.5%? And they want to go to 3.1 in a year and a half? Election talk, yeah. For educational purpose, I diagonal spread my short leg from 350 to 450 for 540 for a credit of 19. Diagonal my long leg from 555 to 570, net credit 15. Once I tighten up my skills, I'm going to put on more risk gradually. Beautiful. Beautiful. What are the probabilities of going back to the earlier range? It's looking unlikely. Usually when it picks the final direction, it keeps on going. By now, the direction is usually picked plus or minus a couple of minutes. So if it doesn't start reversing in the next 10 minutes, I'd say this is the final direction, in my opinion. Yeah, and that could happen too, agnostic, definitely. I mean, that's been the theme for the past 2 months, is pop and drop, pop, lop, and drop it. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, definitely. Got to play the theme. By final direction, do you mean we'll see the climb continue, or do you think we'll consolidate? Either one. I think this is it. If we don't sell off probably in the next 10 minutes or start to, we'll either stay here or go higher. That'll be, I don't, not to sound too John Madden, but and how I come about that is that usually we get the big green move, and then right sometime about now, 10 minutes from now, is when they start, like the momentum starts to build and they go the final big move that's not completely wicked all over the place. Now they have been putting on a decent amount of icebergs, nothing crazy. The Dow is still running. The Russell's kind of tapered off. Oh man, but we got some liquidity at 85 here. We haven't really moved in going on 30 minutes now, 20 minutes. Top wick. Who do you think's going to win, Jake Paul or Iron Mike Tyson? Man, we haven't moved at all in the past 30 minutes. Tyson, absolutely. Tyson's going to smoke that kid. Smoke him. They do expect unemployment to go up. Tyson is an old man, yeah, but he's still going to smoke him. Victoria, what? What was her last name? $40.52.85. Stop listening. You see his trading footage. Oh, he is. He's in very good shape, yeah. VIX is still rolling off here, so more and more evidence that we're going to climb here. $461. This looks like the momentum. Let's see what it can do. Careful. We have 18,500 up top, which is 41 points up into 500. They took off 600. And, man, Dow's even going. Russell's going. XLF is going. VIX is rolling off. Apple's going. Just blast-a-roni. You don't think it's a fixed fight? I would like to think Tyson's not going to do that. I don't think Tyson would agree to have a fixed fight against him, even if he's getting paid obscene money. Maybe I'm wrong. Still going. Yeah, this appears to be the final move. Now that they make it, we'll see what happens. But this appears that the final move is upwards. Paul's going to wear a helmet. That's close enough to fix. Yeah, that's true. NVIDIA strong calls. All right, I'm shutting this off. It's boring me out of my mind here. Out. So, definitely not the most fun the past 20, 30 minutes here, but yeah, there you go. If you want to mimic NASDAQ moves using Q options, what DT would you recommend? It really depends on how much exposure you're going to put on, but if you want to mimic the moves, short-dated stuff, which I definitely wouldn't recommend doing today unless you're going to have fun with some small position sizing. Today's not the day for zeros unless you are going to put on very small position size. Cheap lottos, or not even lottos, but small position size. $52.85 liquidity and then 45 down. You're welcome, Rob. Wish we could have got more done, but hey, that's FOMC, man. All over the place. You don't think it's a fixed fight? Oh, you already asked me that, yeah. Yeah. Apparently it's going to be free on Netflix, though. It's not even going to be a pay-per-view. Let's see. The edge. There is no honest way to explain where the edge is, because only the people who really know where it is are the ones who have gone over it. It's very deep. Very deep. I wrote this book because nobody could believe all the crazy things which have happened to me in the financial trading industry. When I was a market maker on the Philadelphia Stock Exchange, the specialist in the pit where I stood said, "Truth is stranger than fiction." It is impossible to make these events up. I started out trading in San Francisco on the Pacific Coast Exchange, where there was one of the best business libraries in the country. The first book I checked out was about catastrophe theory. This is a concept used to show how gradual changes to a system can produce sudden, drastic results. This would be a good book. This could be a good book. I'm looking forward to it. Trading Sardines by Linda Bradford Raschke, Chapter 1. Can NASDAQ already start to move up? It's trying to. We're kind of hitting into this upward supply right here. We'll see if we can actually pop through it. Do I use Bookmap for equities or only futures? I do use it for equities as well. Yeah. I can't show the equities on the stream, but I can show the futures. What am I white yapping about? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was reading a snippet out of the book, Trading Sardines. I just bought it. I'm going to start reading it. So it does look like they're trying to get through this 465 area. But man, what are your thoughts about buying out of the money 1 DTE calls and puts right before today's market close and sell them overnight? Very small position size. If we get the normal post FOMC move, I mean, a strangle probably will be a good play. I don't blame you for taking a position like that. When we finally do leave this range, it's going to be violent. Small profit for the day. Do not like this price action. I'm going to call it a day. Linda book ordered and mailed yesterday. Nice, Damien. Yeah, she shipped this thing super fast. Super fast. I wish I could ship my pants that fast whenever I order pants offline, but she shipped this one really fast. Did she sign mine? She didn't, unfortunately. Did not hear ship. Kmart. She signed mine. She said, "Best wishes from Nasty Rasky." No way she said that. No way she said that. All right, well, we're not really moving right now. Back and forth, back and forth. So maybe that might be it. I wish, though, definitely. That was the other book. Oh my gosh. Oh man, the first 3 words of the first chapter. I lost everything. With tears streaming down my face, I wondered how the F do I get myself out of this one. The year was 1982, and I was a wide-eyed as Dorothy first gazing at the marvelous Emerald City. However, in this story, Dorothy ends up accosted by munchkins trying to outbid her every move and in debt up to her eyeballs. I'm looking forward to this one. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put my hammock up in a couple of trees, read that book. Any swing trade thoughts? No. No. I don't hate the idea of a put to swing because typically that's what we do. You know, they reverse the move and, you know, big green and then they reverse it back to red the next day. I don't know. That's the nature of this liquidity. The whole pattern since last month, early February, has been sell the greens, buy the reds. Sell the greens, buy the reds. Lower highs, higher lows. Back to back. Or I'm sorry, higher highs, higher lows. Trading Sardines, yeah, that's the book I have. That'll be my next book after Market Wizards. Beautiful. So. Trading anchovies. I do prefer anchovies to sardines, yeah. from the ashes rise a phoenix, but remember the phoenix needs to get burnt to a crisp before being born again. Interesting that the things we talk about here and the things I've already read out of this book has to do with dealing with loss. Sounds familiar, right? It's official, no more pullbacks. Yeah, order from her website. When I first Googled it on Amazon, I thought I was just going to have to trust Mr. 50's word, his snippets. But I saw it on her website. It's like $39 on her website. So I ain't paying no $132. But that's correct. Yep. From a spiritual standpoint, Linda Raschke sounds like someone who would be your aunt or something. Very humble, funny, and sharp. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to reading it. I wouldn't call myself sharp or funny, but I try to be as humble as I can. You had to say funny looking. That I can believe. Hey, you guys. Well, I don't really have much analysis for you here. We are still holding the highs. Like I said, as long as we get through that next 10 minutes, which I said about 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, that this will probably be the final move. So I would expect this thing to still go up here, and then we'll go from there. Typical FOMC stuff here. But I will say, holding beautiful levels. Oh, man. You know, every time I try to write the word options, I have a tendency to type potions. I'm a witch. Money potions. Going green here. There it is. There goes the green. Is he done talking? I canceled it. Can't get below 400 on a tick for the last hour. Can be a sign of short covering. VIX is still rolling off here, so it does look like it. Closing out all these positions. SPY is 520. And coming up. Into 52.95. turn a negative day flat with the last pump. Nice juice box. From red to neutral is a win in my pool. Oh, absolutely it is. Yeah. Absolutely. Not nearly as exciting as other FOMCs, but we're finally starting to make a move up here. Looks like ES is going to hit that 52.95 up top. Where's SPX at the moment? 52.22. Let's see what we can do here. 52.86. They are putting on 52.35, but they're coming into 95 here. 660. Am I done doing options? No, absolutely not. I just pick and choose when I do them. They've got 52.95, which is 660. That looks like their target. They put that on about 20 minutes ago. At least they doubled down on it 20 minutes ago. 5% down the account. Thanks all. Nice done. Nicely done, Austin. And back down to the chop. That's your World of Warcraft character. Used to play that. Nice. What do we have for tomorrow? March 21st. Yeah, well done, man. Good stuff. Bit stressful, but added about 3% to each account. Gonna call it a day. Nice, Paul. I'm pumped. My hedging is getting better and better. I'm seeing how much the long and short legs can be interchangeably in credit and debit spreads. I'm working on this. Increase my position size. There you go. I love it. Once they capped the level of 60, I lost interest. Never played it. Apple just had a really big spike in put flow. Interesting. As did Tesla 10 minutes ago. Watch, they're going to dump this thing again tomorrow, aren't they? Just like they've been freaking doing. Are we still in distribution? I think so. Notice how NVIDIA can't break 900. Yep. All right, Jill. I'm going to call this a day. This is slow price action. Would you buy real estate on Mars? There's no way anybody but the ultra rich could ever afford that in the event that we do finally make it there. But assuming I was a trillionaire, yeah, I'd buy some real estate on Mars. Why, you know a guy? The options trillionaire, yeah. This DM, his name is Elon. I don't know. I don't know if he's got much money left anymore after buying Twitter for $40 billion and then Tesla's stock price cutting in half. He's fine, yeah. Oh my gosh. Y'all are weird. All right, I'm going to call that a day. If I do end up taking a swing, I'll let y'all know, but we'll see. So in the future, you'll be saying I'm logging off early as I drive to my rentals in Mars. Yeah, I'd like that. We have some sort of time warp. So distribution while we keep putting in new all-time highs is a crazy rationale. If you understood VPA, then you'd understand where I'm coming from. I wouldn't call it crazy, especially when we have the most selling we've seen in months. But hey, do what you do. Love y'all. I hope you have a good rest of the day. I'll see y'all bright and early in the morning, and we'll see how this thing starts to absorb. NASDAQ is smack dab in the middle of the range. ES is at, of course, new all-time highs. YM is coming up, and so is Russell. So good stuff. So a couple of decent plays there, but yeah, we're up about, what, 30, 40 points on ES? So yeah. Hope you have a good night. I will see y'all tomorrow. I'm out. See you.